Alright, I'm going to show you how I teach my guys how to prepare for an at-bat. Now, when we walk up to the plate, we're ready to hit, we want to be in a balanced situation, balanced stance. The best way to tell a young player how to actually find a balanced stance is when they approach that box, just tell them to jump in. And when you jump in, you land in a naturally balanced position. So, now we jumped in, and how I have my player start, barrel of the bat, knob, barrel of the helmet, and the knob pointed at the catcher. Back elbow, down. We don't want to teach it up. Players who keep that elbow up are just mimicking the pros, which is great. They're watching TV, watching the pros. Their dads are obviously out working in the yard yelling, keep your back elbow up. The problem is the youth players don't have the strength to get their back elbow up to slotted by the time they rotate through. What happens is they're mimicking their big Bryce Harper or David Ortiz or whoever it is. And when they go to load and explode towards home or towards the pitcher, what happens is they drop their hands. Why? They don't have the wrist strength, the arm strength to go from here to here properly. So what you'll see, watch a tournament, the hands go from here down to here and back up. What you create is a little loop. And that loop just gets you pop-ups. Now, if you happen to be one of those 10% of players, coaches who coach elbow up, and your players get to that position correctly, that's awesome. It means you're rare. You're 10%ers. So, for the rest of us, we want to keep that elbow down. We want to minimize our hand movement as much as possible from here to here. Our hands want to be in that straight line, that linear line going forward. We want to eliminate all the little herky-jerky stuff. So, we're balanced. Knob, barrel. And now we're ready. Now, a lot of players do that big leg kick, stepping down. What happens is you're stepping off balance. When you load and you transfer all that weight, what it is, it's a weight transfer. We don't want to step down. We want to transfer that weight. It's like a dance. You know, it's all in the hips. Nice weight transfer. Transfer it back, explode forward. We don't want to go up and down. You start going up and down and it changes the eye level of the ball. All of a sudden we start up here, stand up, jump down, that ball just constantly moves. So we want to maintain that eye level all the way through. So you don't want those big kicks, all that stuff. Just a nice weight transfer. That front foot, we want it to go about 4 to 6 inches. So it's not way out here, it's not here, and it's not here. You know, that's another thing with the leg kick. A lot of kids will step up and put their foot right back down. What we want to imagine is a little square 4 to 6 inches in front of our plate, and like you're stepping on glass, or ice. So we don't want to just step hard. It's a nice weight transfer and land. Okay? So now we have that nice little weight transfer. And where does our leg lock? Just like that. Now what we want is we want our torso to match this angle. You don't want to be out in front and lose all your power. You want it perfectly lined up. So now when we rotate, everything's lined up. Our hands are still in the position where they started. And everything's good. Now, that's where we go from linear to rotational. We want that big hip pop. So, here's the front of our body, and now the back of our body. A lot of people do this squish the bug thing. The problem is you don't get a full rotation of the hips when you squish the bug. I mean, you look at your hips. What we want to do is we want to explode onto that back toe. So if we're back here and we step, it explodes onto that back toe. It's hard to do when I'm just standing here. But if you had an angle, you know, if we're down like this, it's about 105 degrees up on that toe. Now if you stand here with your front foot like that, you're up on your toe, your hips are naturally forward. So now when we explode, we're naturally forward facing the pitcher. And another last but not least is when we step. A lot of coaches say step to the ball. We want to step towards the pitcher every time. Step towards the pitcher. I mean, step towards the ball is slow pitch softball. When you land, that ball is already on you. So I mean, imagine 90-mile-an-hour fastball coming, you start your motion, you're never going to be able to step towards it. You want to step to the exact same spot every single time. That's why you always say step towards the pitcher.